Mindela, congratulations on receiving Moments Creativity Award. So richly deserved. Uh, I I knew that you would get it 44 years ago, I think, when you walked into my gallery and you gave me such a fantastic, uh, my gallery, such a fantastic lift with your incredibly thought-provoking and beautiful work.
Jack, it feels like yesterday, really 44 years ago. Um, it was amazing. Our friend Helene Hertzburn, my mentor, your dear friend, both of our
And
art
mine,
professors at American University, and I was doing these dark paintings with my father's number, and she literally took me by the hand and she says, "I want to show this to this young man who has a great gallery on Third and G, right?" And we walked in, and you looked, and you were very good looking, also.
well, I was, yeah, thank you.
You still are. You still are. But no, I mean, I walked in and it was like instant, instant appreciation, loving the feel of the gallery, you looking at the work and truly saying, which I will never forget, and I've quoted a million times, Jack, you were all of 28 years old. It was 1978, 79. There was no Holocaust museums, books, movies, Schindler's List, everything we've had in the last 44 years. And you said, I'm showing these dark paintings, which had my father's number. And the most moving moment, I don't think I've ever even told you, you got the invitation and you ordered 1,000. And I thought you had lost your mind. Why would you get 1,000? And you said, and I'll never forget this moment, it felt like an arrow of belief went into me. You said, because someday you're going to need it for your retrospective. So here we are, 44 years later. I still have some invitations left. I've used them a lot. And in Hebrew, they would say Kol HaKavod, which means all the glory goes to you for believing in work that dark, that early, and what it was about.
Well, the work was very dark, and I think it's only because I sort of knew where you came from, not your history with your family and everything, but more about your where you came from artistically. Helene Hertzburn, Ron Haney, etc. I knew that even though these were so dark, that you were operating from a real place of beauty, and that the whole process of sort of the destruction of beauty, but also the very act sort of creating its own kind of beauty really just moved me, and I thought that this is going to work. It was it was kind of taking a chance, but uh, very very lucky. I've always been lucky when I took a chance on you, Mindy.
Jack, really, when you think about it, I never thought about it that way, but it's true. You and I came from a very same language, and we trusted that language. And Helene was tough, as you know. She made me
Very
cry.
tough.
Well, the whole 2 years I was there with her, I don't think I ever left without in tears. And I'll never forget somebody who shared a locker day. You said to me, I said, "Oh my God, she's so tough." And this woman said, "That's because she knows you can take it." It's like boot camp,
Yeah.
like boot camp. But you understood the deconstruction, and I didn't even understand it. I didn't know, I still don't kind of know what I'm doing. I make my marks, it feels right, it doesn't feel right, it surprises me. I always seem to find light somewhere. That seems to me the greatest part of this whole activity of 45 years of painting.
No,
Seems
that's a great gift for all of us. I just wanted to say that as tough as Helene was, she never made me cry until she died.
Oh, yeah. She made me cry a lot.
Mhm.
And I cried a lot when she died. She was one of the greats. And I used her, for the 10 years I taught at the Corcoran, I used all her notes. I just tried not to make people cry as much. That's all.
One thing that she really gave both of us was this idea that abstract expressionism could have powerful meanings, could really convey great important really important content. And and you've proven that again and again. I mean, it's just people respond to your paintings on a very deep level, and it's not just because the brushwork is great and the colors are wonderful, but there's a lot behind them that people get kind of seduced into understanding.
Thank you, Jen. I just lost my father a couple weeks ago, and you knew my father very well, and he loved you and loved the gallery. And I find, I hope I don't cry during this taping. I really don't want to. And as you know, I don't cry easily. You know, when the bar for living is so high, you're not in Auschwitz. What have you got to cry about? You know, you have shoes, you have a bed, you have food. You just don't cry. But I find that during this process of grieving, I've been going a little bit to the studio and feeling like using a lot of color, but I also seem to be in a very child place. And I think, seriously, Jack, I think it was my father's time. He was an amazing man. He lived to be 97, sharp as a whip till the end, and spoke at the Museum of Tolerance in LA, always very open minded. And as you know, all the work I've done with Germany and everything, just moving forward. But I think lately I'm really grieving a lot for the life I didn't have as a Holocaust survivor's daughter. And I
Mhm.
think had I not had the painting, this ties in with what you're saying about the painting, it was a place that I really could feel, Jack, without worrying about how anybody else was feeling. I could be really honest with my feelings. And I also knew that if I didn't feel it, nobody else would ever feel a thing. So I had to go through all of it.
Mindy, I was fortunate to know your mother,
I
probably
know,
better than your father, and
Lily.
I loved seeing her. And if I could tell one little story, I think she came in and she saw something she liked, and so she pulled a paper bag full of cash out of her.
I don't want the tax people coming after me. Yeah, my
But I
parents.
thought I think you explained it to me later that you never knew, right? Where she was coming from. You never knew, and so she.
I only bought her 52 wallets. She was in the cash business. You know, who had time to put anything in a wallet?
But I mean, I also thought it was just the uncertainty of life sort of
No.
made her ready to run.
Oh, I was just talking with somebody who told me that they were so happy that they bought a collection from you in this early 80s. Just somebody, and I forgot the name now. I'll remember. Anyway, it's not irrelevant now. Yeah.
So you didn't, you always sort of, I think, referenced your past, but also you began to more overtly work with the idea of beauty and less with the idea of destruction, which I think was,
Right.
something that you were able to grow out of and also offer others, a way to, leave the past a bit and sort of, have a better present, a better future.
You know, Jack, as you know, when you live a life and you explore it, and I've always been interested in exploring the mind, the body, the heart, the soul, everything in reading and music and movies and whatever could feed me. But it's not a conscious thing. But now that I'm older, I really see that the search, even from childhood, was really, I responded to beauty. And my mother, who, watched her whole family be killed in Auschwitz, my mother had rose bushes and she had roses at her side, till the dying day, her dying day. And I think my mother so insisted that I remember that I know, not remember because I never knew it, but that instead of the destruction of the Holocaust, that I focus a lot on the beauty that existed before the war. Therefore, my book, After the Obligation of Beauty. I felt this obligation almost, but very unconscious. Everything is unconscious. Shelley will say, my dear husband will say, I have to think about it. I'll never understand it. 57 years, I still don't understand what I have to think about means. I mean,
Mhm.
yes or no, you feel it, you don't feel it. I feel my way through life. It served me okay.
I think it's wonderful that Moment Magazine, found you and recognized you, for who you are and what you've given everybody. And this is a very exciting uh, award for you, I think. So richly deserved and coming from a great organization.
Well, I love Moment Magazine. I read it. I've been a reader since I think day one. And I just think it really emphasizes so much of modern Jewish civilization, culture, history in
Mhm.
the broader world. It's not a narrow um, viewpoint. And I feel very, very, very honored and very privileged to have gotten to this stage in life and be recognized for my life of art, which, also so many questions. Are you a Jewish artist? For the audience, that this will be going to. I don't know what that means other than I'm Jewish and I happen to be an artist. But Moment Magazine is a Jewish contemporary magazine, and it is a great honor and privilege to
Mhm.
be recognized. That's a great word, isn't it? To be recognized. All of us want to be seen and heard and
And
recognized. And
recognized. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I'm so
all
glad
right,
you are the way you are. Who knew, 43
you
years
knew, you
I
knew,
besides
you
me.
knew.
Yeah.
And me among many, 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 really, Jack, just stay present because you're still the art voice
Mm.
that we all need and all love. And also really just between us, I don't care if they record this or not, but they said who do I want to introduce me? And I thought I'd be there live and it would be different, but I haven't been all that well. But I really thought about it, and I talked to Shelley about it, and Shelley said, "Well, then ask yourself the question: Who knows you the best? Who really knows you
Mhm.
the best in your life as an artist?" And there is no one in my life, Jack. Now I'll cry. No one in my life who knows me like you know me. So thank you.
Been my pleasure, Mandela.